on too. Hey guys, I'm sorry about that. I guess I have like a cache file on here or something that was getting eaten up. I completely ran out of hard drive space. I feel pretty stupid about the whole thing. Um, I guess I'd better put my solid state drive back in the computer and stop trying to have two video cards. Because I don't think it's going to help much anyways. Where were we? I was trying to share some information that I was thinking might save your life someday. Um, I know the chin tuck, the fetal position. Oh man. I know a part of me should probably be embarrassed, but in actuality, I'm more embarrassed for the people that make me have to use those techniques. Those people are like Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon, freaking Australopithec, freaking. They're basically subhuman. Like, people try to make me feel like a subhuman because, like, I don't do what normal people do all the time. For example, I like to drink 99 proof butterscotch liquor before I go to sleep when I'm having nightmare thoughts. Mmm. Oh, that's delicious. Just imagine if Werther's Original did brain damage. It's like even better than that. Mm. It's hard to convey how good that is. Um, but I don't think I can remember much. Like, I know some good techniques, but a lot of them are just ingrained. I mean, I learned them when I was young. But the one thing that stands out in my mind, I don't know. You can either take this as a cautionary tale, not to pull out a knife on somebody that knows jujitsu, or you can take it as a piece of advice to go to a dojo and learn jujitsu. Or like maybe you can just take it as a piece of advice to stay home and play video games. I'll be honest, the guy that did the jujitsu, he loves playing video games. Like Budokan Tenkaichi Dragon Ball Z3. You know the title, you know the one I'm talking about. It's like on PlayStation 2 through like all of them. And like even Nintendo Wii. I introduced him to the Wii version. He was like, "This is badass. I love these Wii chucks." But oh, and Call of Duty Black Ops. Who doesn't love that, right? But nah, man. The dude I'm talking about is the singer for the Necessary Evil. It's this band. Here, I'll save you. I'll spare you. I'll try to play it when I'm done streaming. How does that sound? Instead of looking it up right now, all frantic like. All right, just like I'll play it at the end of the stream. But this guy, I'll play "I Am the Bigger Fish." I think you'll come to see. There's just one thing you should know. Yeah, I won't spoil it. It's pretty good. But this guy's like kind of a military brat. I mean, he's been all over the world. He like knows Russian, like born in America, knows how to fight, like martial arts, Not scrap. I'm talking martial arts, jiu-jitsu kind of stuff. He's basically like a secret agent, like a young man just waiting to get recruited by the CIA, probably, basically. That's the singer for the Necessary Evil. At any rate, what's the point? The point is, one day we were having like songwriting session over here. Like that was back when I had a desk set up. There's like a picture where I'm giving him bunny ears and shit. Like, at any rate, he's riding the bus over here, right? And he's just like sitting, you know how buses are. You've got your side seats that are kind of like the futon here, where you're like facing each other. And then you've got those other seats that are more like, you know, you're facing front, right? There's like two seats, and basically like a travel bus, like a Greyhound or a Flixbus or whatever, you know, a tour bus. Yeah. So he's in that scenario, facing forward. But the guy that's in front of him, okay, decides to go from this position, you know, facing forward. The guy that's in front of him, right? Like, let's say my singer's back there, okay? The guy, yeah, I'm the bad guy, okay? So the bad guy turns around, faces him, and goes, "Hey, give me your money." Tries to mug him on the bus. Like, is that stupid or what? There's cameras on the bus. How desperate do you got? How stupid do you get? Well, anyways, this guy is like fucking with my singer, right? But here's the clincher. Okay? Like I said, my singer is well trained in the martial arts. So, like, imagine there's like a seat right here. I'll put my fucking backrest right here. And I'll get my keyboard out of the way because it's in the way. Alright? So yeah, I'm a bad guy. Let me finish this bottle too. This is getting annoying. Hot damn. I swear, if these guys ever want to sponsor me, I'm like more than happy to tell you how awesome they are. Okay? Anyway, I digress. I'm never gonna get sponsored. I'm like the least likely guy to ever get tracked as sponsored, right? So like, yeah, bad guys sitting like this, right? This is like a bus, you know, how descriptive do I gotta get, right? Anyways, so the bad guy turns around and he pulls out a knife like this. Let me rotate the camera. It's even better. He pulls out a knife. Here, do I have a knife? Here, I got some needle nose pliers. That's close. Okay? He says, "Hey, give me your money." On the fucking bus. But do you notice a critical flaw here? You should. You should immediately notice a vulnerability. Okay? The bad guy's elbow is resting on the fucking seat. On the back, on the top of the seat. Do you see where this is going? Give me your money. My singer sees the knife in his face. Guess what he does? Grabs the guy's forearm, cranks down on it. Ah! Fucking elbow is like, fuck, it's like out of The Fly. You ever seen Brundlefly, man? Like the arm wrestling? Like, seriously. He was actually shook up at band practice. He's like, dude, it was fucking nasty. I knew I was dangerous, but I didn't think I was that dangerous. This guy was fucked up. I'm just like, hey, man. He pulled a knife on you, bro. You gotta do something. You can't just get your throat slit. I mean, you didn't have any money, did you? No, I didn't. I mean, you know me. I rarely have money. It's usually my Danny, my girlfriend, my baby mama that has the money. I'm just like playing Call of Duty, playing Ghosts, playing like fucking XCOM. Fucking yeah, he's like passing the time away on his video games because he ain't got no money. Sometimes I take him out for karaoke and shit. Fuck, man, that guy and the singer for High Intentions. We'd all go out for karaoke. Three singers out on the prowl. Ow! Oh! Blow the roof off those karaoke joints. But the thing is that's serious business, man. Like fucking that fucking robber, that wannabe robber. I'll bet their elbow still doesn't work. What a dumb shit. God. Who robs a person on the bus? Like, I saw that one video of the guy, it's all like, ambulance! Call an ambulance! And that was pretty sad. That's nothing to be proud of. I'm a human, okay? And that was a sad point for humanity when I saw that ambulance video on Tosh.0. But the point is, violence is pretty stupid, right? I don't know, though. There's a lot of lessons to be taken away from that story, I suppose. Like, go learn jujitsu? Like, I know it seems like an obvious maneuver, right? Like, if somebody's elbow is resting like that and they've got a knife in your face, like, it seems like an obvious maneuver. But if you're not well practiced, okay? Seriously. Like, if you're not, like, ready to execute that maneuver right then and there, then you might get slashed. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a action-reaction scenario. It's kind of like why, like, musicians or, like, and, like, actors or, like, celebrities, it's because they're ready to perform at the drop of a hat. You know what I mean? Basically, like, well practiced. But the thing is, that's just entertainment. We're talking about, like, life, saving your own neck, you know? It's dangerous out there, kids. You know? I know for a fact that COVID-19 and lockdown happened, and a lot of you Generation Z kids, you know, got to hang out at home a lot and didn't get to necessarily go outside and endure all the horrible shit I've been through. The kind of shit that keeps me up at night. But, like, you know what? You're not missing out on much. You're really not. You know, it's good to, like... I really liked the techno rave scene back in the day. Because, like, nothing bad's gonna happen at a rave. Like, hypothetically, and I mean that, hypo-fucking-thetically. Did that really happen? That looked really cool. My filter. Woo! No, hypothetically, somebody's gonna overdose and die, right? Because, like, everybody's so drugged up at a techno rave, right? Wrong. I've never seen that. And I've been to a lot of fucking underground techno raves. What's an underground techno rave? It's like you get a flyer and it says, call this phone number on this day and you'll find out where the address is. Because before this day, you're not going to know where it is. That's an underground rave, okay? And yeah, man, supposedly we're all supposed to be overdosing at those, right? I've never seen anything like that. I've seen a few kids have, like, bad trips, and they needed to go chill out in the chill out room and play some Super Nintendo, but they were okay after that. Like, they totally zenned out on the fucking Mario and, like, we're fine. It's, like, not a big deal. The drugs at a rave, it's mostly, like, ecstasy, mushrooms, LSD, and, like, I don't know, maybe a little ketamine, maybe a little, like, nitrous oxide. I don't know. Ketamine's dangerous because it's a dissociative and it really alters you. But then again, so does Robitussin cough syrup if you take enough of it. You ever heard of the plateaus? I dare you to reach the fourth plateau and tell me the ketamine is dangerous. Alright? You'll be like, fucking Robitussin's dangerous. Motherfuckers. At any rate, what's my point? My point is you're not likely to encounter violence at a techno rave. That's all. Like, I can understand why the youth of America and perhaps the youth of the world might be apprehensive about going out into the real fucking world. You know, the big room. You know, like, I'm in my little room. The big room sucks dick. And when I say that, I mean, like, fucking zombie rotten cock covered with maggots. And not only that, but it's a donkey-sized zombie maggot cock. That's what the big room sucks. Okay? It's really no fun out there. I mean, unless you go to the right places with the right people. That's just how it is, you know? It's really not worth it. At all. But the thing is, like, there's some pretty cool people out there that you're probably not going to meet online. And seriously, how many people do you meet online that you actually meet in real life? Like, that used to be a big deal back in the day. Like in the MySpace days, like, it was practically a rite of passage for you to, like, you know, hang out with your MySpace friends. You know, there was like a top 8, like, there was like, you had like 4 on top and like 4 underneath it. Those were your top 8. And like, if you didn't hang out with those people, you were just a fucking nerd, man. Like, what the fuck do you even have a top 8 for if you don't hang out with those people IRL? Like, what the fuck is that? Right? I don't know. I mean, hypothetically, you could put like somebody cool that you want to hang out with. You could put them in your number 1 spot. That could be very flattering. But like, everybody else from 2 to 8 should be like people you actually hang with, bro. Alright, system? That's how that works. Like, I don't even know what would equivalent to that these days. Like, is there such a thing? It's practically like your friends were your trophies. Which is kind of how it should be. That's like what real friends are like. They should be proud to have you as a friend. And you should be proud to have them as a friend. So, I think that's why a lot of us old school people reminisce about the MySpace days. Is because, like, that was a thing. Like, wasn't it 8? It wasn't 10, right? It was 8, not 10. It was 8. I'm pretty sure I remember it the way it was. And, it's a little mushy. I know. Like, I'm not the most Okay, I'm pretty... I'm a water sign. So, like, you know what that means. That means I'm either a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio. Do I seem horny enough to be a Scorpio? Do I? I like to talk about tits and ass and everything, but... yeah, I think that's a bit of a stretch, don't you? I mean, I don't know how well you know me, but... doubt if I could pass for a Scorpio. Either way, a Pisces or a Cancer, that's a whiny little bitch, right? emo little sentimental fucktard. Well, whatever, man. I don't judge. I know I'm familiar with the stereotype. I mean, I kind of relate to the stereotype. So what? You know, the whole millennial crowd really embraced the emo trend musically, aesthetically, and heartfeltly, if that's a word. That kind of went along with that fucking top 8 MySpace crap as well. If you catch my drift, I don't know. But yeah, man, leaving the house totally sucks. I wouldn't recommend it. Like, it's overrated. You're probably gonna get beat up, possibly robbed, like ripped off. Like, if you're too friendly, that's a guarantee. You know? Like, if you're too friendly and you're too gullible, you're gonna get ripped off, probably robbed, maybe mugged. What's the difference, right? And the thing is, though, who wants to go out and be unfriendly? I don't. I want to be friendly when I go out. I just don't want to be naive. Like I said, if you're going to get beat up by a bully, they're probably going to drag you into the corner over there. So if somebody is trying to maneuver you, like verbally, into the corner, off to a secluded area, they probably want to beat the fuck out of you. Seriously! That happens. And then they take your wallet. Like, not always. Sometimes they just want to beat the fuck out of you, if you can believe that. It's the world we live in, people. It makes people feel like, toxically masculine. You know, if you can go and bully somebody, like afterwards, I guess they ride the toxic high. Ooh, yeah! I totally... Nerd! 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 You guys have seen Revenge of the Nerds, right? The ironic thing is, Ogre became a nerd. Eventually. Spoiler alert! Oh, shit, I'm sorry. Did I say that? My bad. I was just joking. Of course Ogre never becomes a nerd. Give me a break. Do you actually believe that? You're so gullible. Right? I digress. Were there any other good places to go besides techno raves? Where maybe you wouldn't get beat up? Back when I was a kid? Well, the TV studio, but I mean, that's a rare and privileged gift, right? I don't even have one of those these days. I suppose if you went to like a cafe, like a coffee house, where they have like Wi-Fi internet, that's always traditionally been an intelligent choice. Because, like, when was the last time you saw like a barroom brawl break out at a coffee shop, right? Like, more than likely, if you go to, like, Starbucks, coffee, etc., Dutch Brothers, fucking Denny's, yeah. If you go to where they serve coffee and you just hang out, more than likely you're not going to get punched in the nose. Oh, God, my nose. Oh. I need a tissue. Yes, I'll take a tampon. Give me your fucking tampon. Ah. I can't stop the bleeding. You guys are probably expecting my nose to be so crooked, right? With all my stories of, like, violence. I told you, I have a few defensive techniques that I know. Now that I'm comfortable again, let me see if I can remember another one. So you got your chin tuck. You got your fetal position. Curl up Stop hitting me! Stop hitting me! And remember to protect your midsection. Like, try to protect your head mostly. But, like, if you can protect your midsection with your elbows, you don't want your kidneys to get blasted. And that's exactly what they're kicking at when you're down there on the ground. Like, they're trying to hurt your head and they're trying to hurt your kidneys. And if you can protect your kidneys with your elbows and your head with your hands and, fists, you should clench up your hands, because if you keep them flat, they're gonna get fucked up. If you can make a fist and do that, like, just protect yourself with the fist. Because, yeah, flat hand is gonna get fucked up. You ever slam your hand in a car door accidentally? I did that when I was 5. I was like... I loved my father so much. When I went to kindergarten, he was like exiting out the driver's side, and I was scared to get out the passenger side like normal, so I followed him out the driver's side. Stupid move, right? He's shutting the door, but I'm not fully out yet, and my little hand is like, door fucking slams, a Buick Regal fucking bam. I'm like, oh! He's like, oh, son, what were you doing there? I'm like, I was trying to follow you, father, because I'm scared to go to school. This place is very scary. Ow! But now I think the car is scary too. Alright, that's a good story. Alright, so when it comes to defensive techniques, alright, try to use your elbows if you're going to be offensive. I mean, that's an advanced technique. Like, I'd rather talk about defensive techniques because, let's face it, if you're dealing with a bully and you start acting offensively, they're going to escalate things. It's like the difference between a wet willy and a wedgie. It's a definite escalation. Wet willies suck. I don't like them. But wedgies, they can actually chafe you and leave marks. Wet willies don't leave marks. They leave emotional scars, but they don't leave actual welts and shit. Okay? So, if you're gonna act offensively, like if you're like, I'm sick of this shit, they've been bullying me every day for fucking a month, fucking 5 days out of the week, I've been getting fucking 20 days out of the month, I'm sick of this, and you're actually gonna retaliate, I would recommend don't use your fists. You need these to play video games. Like, I play guitar, okay? And I type. Like, these are my livelihood. You know what I mean? Like, not to mention that, but I've been told I have a delicate yet firm... You don't need to know that. Anyways, the point is you don't want to hurt your hands, so bam! 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 Fucking elbow the fuck out of people. Like... Try to use your elbow like a fist. And then you'll keep your fucking money makers intact. Okay? And I mean, like, maybe this is your money maker? Well, hey man, how are you gonna write those checks and, like, work your smartphone if you got, like, you know what I mean? You don't want to hurt your hands. It's really good advice. Serious, people. Tucking your chin, doing the fetal position, using your elbows instead of your hands. I'm probably going to save you, like, medical bills if you don't have insurance. And, like, if you do have insurance, well, fuck it. They're not going to fix your hands, man. If you mangle your hands, you know how many bones? You know how many bones are in this thing? Fuck. You really don't want to break it. Okay. Um, what else is good advice? You know, there was a point in my life where my public school experience was so violent on a daily basis. I actually went to school wearing a protective cup over my genitalia. You know, like a baseball player or a football player or like a bicycle rider or like a freaking like an athlete essentially. I'd be sitting there in class learning arithmetic and reading, writing and arithmetic with a fucking plastic cup over my little baby nuts. Cuz like public school was that violent at that point. I just shared that with you. So if you ever have to do that, don't be embarrassed. Let's change the subject. All right. Anything else? Um, you know what? All right. How does this sound? We've already talked about offensive techniques, right? Like hypothetically, if you're in a overly violent zone, like the one I was just describing, the one that we're done talking about. Let's say hypothetically you've had quite a few encounters already, and all of my information is not really news to you, right? And now you're looking for like something like that's really gonna tip the scales, in your favor. Knock a motherfucker's tooth out. I mean, in this day and age, it's probably ill recommended because, like, you'll probably get you'll probably get a red flag on your file for the rest of your life as some kind of a badass that doesn't take shit from anybody. And, like, who wants to be that, right? I don't know. Food for thought. Junk food, basically, right? Because I'm a pacifist. I really am repulsed at the very notion. But I did do it in the first grade. And I gotta admit, nobody fucked with me for the rest of the first grade. And the penalties, not that stiff. I knocked out a baby tooth. It's like, he'll live. Plus, he was being a dick to my friend Kelly. She was like the coolest chick in the first grade. And I had all kinds of little bitches kissing on my arms and shit. But problem is, I think it was a little too much for Kelly. Because, like, violence... Guess what? Humans aren't Neanderthals. If you act like a caveman, it doesn't mean you're gonna get the girl. In fact, a lot of the times, you might freak her out. Even if it feels like the right thing to do, like, it's like, I was listening to a Queers song off of, their hit album, The Queers Save the World. Well, okay, it's called Save the World, but the band's called The Queers. So when you read it, it goes like, The Queers Save the World. Like, I think it's a newer album of theirs. And like, one of the song titles, one of the song choruses, goes, "Leave that girl alone." Right? And like, if you're listening to it casually, you might like fall into that robotic frame of mind where, it's like, don't, I'm just gonna say it, okay? Like, if you're a guy and you're out and about and you're trying to, like, not be single, and like, you're just like trying to meet girls. Like, don't you almost expect some asshole dude to come up and be all like, "Hey, leave that girl alone"? Don't you? It's not that far fetched. It does happen. Okay? Like, really, all it takes is one stupid drunk bitch to, like, misinterpret your intentions and go, "Oh my god, get away from me." And then next thing you know, you've got some gigantic fucking football player or whatever, in your face going, "Leave that girl alone." And you're just like, "Yo, I was just trying to buy her a drink. Like a friendly fucking human being. Sorry, I didn't know she was like a lesbian." Bam! That's the wrong answer. "Sorry, I didn't know she was straight edge." That's not necessarily gonna get you punched, but you're not gonna be welcome at that bar anymore, probably. Alright, you know what? I don't mean to, like, write a rule book or anything, because life is pretty fucking random. But the point of that song is, it sounds like "leave that girl alone," but in actuality, it's more like a mantra. Like the singer's singing to himself about his, like, girlfriend. Like, he's like, "I gotta dump this chick. She's nothing but trouble, man. I gotta leave that girl alone." Isn't that funny? Um, uh, were we talking about violence? Socializing, leaving the house, violence, trying not to be single, um, all these things, yeah, probably gonna lead to getting your face punched one of these days. Just saying. Granted, I gotta admit, when it comes to like the pursuing of like, relationships or relations, I don't know. Whatever, man. When you're just going out for a good time, looking to meet somebody to, get friendly with, that really doesn't usually end up with anything too, like, altercations. The only time that happens is if they have a significant other and they're there and they take it personal. Like, "You should have noticed me, motherfucker. What are you doing talking to my significant other?" And it's like, "Whoa, I'm so sorry. I'm totally wasted. I didn't realize. Can I buy you guys a pitcher? Let's drink a pitcher together. Hey, tell you what, you can pick my karaoke song, I'll pick yours, and, your significant other can watch and judge. And whoever's better gets fucked." No, I'm just kidding. Well, huh? What? That doesn't sound like something that happened in the 90s. Probably not. I guess it depends on the karaoke bar you go to, right? Alright. I'm just getting stupid now, guys. I don't have anything good to share anymore. And I think I'm actually tired. I don't think I'm having bad thoughts anymore, so I'm gonna just go. Alright, party on.